guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I'm back with another video, and it's a little bit of a different video because I'm gonna be talking a lot about natural nails and how I grew my natural nails from this to this in just a couple of months. I've always struggled with keeping my nails healthy and long because genetically I have very thin and fragile nails, and a lot of you guys might struggle with the same kind of genetics, but there are ways to make them stronger. So a lot of you guys know I make a lot of nail tutorials, nail content on my channel, and I have always had short natural nails, so that's why I always extended my natural nails with extensions, gel-X, things like that. But I finally gotten to the point where I don't need to do that anymore, and I literally have long natural nails. Healthy. That's the key word, because you can have really long natural nails and have them flimsy and weak and cracking in a few days. And I want to tell you guys all the things that I did, everything that I do to protect them, to take care of them. Yeah, it's gonna be a full in-depth video. I'm gonna be focusing a lot of time in this video talking about cuticle care. And cuticle care, I really believe, is the key trick to getting healthy natural nails. Good prep equals long-lasting retention on your nails. And what really damages your nails is nails that don't last, gel that break or lift or crack. My number one priority whenever I do nails is to prevent all of that from happening. So a lot of the video is going to focus on nail prep, the do's and don'ts of doing your natural nails. There are some additional advice I can give to you guys besides the tutorial I'm going to show you. Basically, what I do on a daily basis, I moisturize them daily with cuticle oil and also olive oil. I rub olive oil all over my hands to keep them hydrated, and that also affects your natural nails. I also take these biotin supplements that is good for your nail growth and your hair growth and your skin. So that's a supplement that I've been taking consistently for a year, and I have noticed a big difference in how my hair grows or how my nail grow. I definitely recommend taking some sort of supplement for this. One thing that I do want to say, some people have ingrown nails or nails that curve downwards when they grow. So in those cases, if you have those nails that grow downwards, you might have to keep them at a certain length that they don't curve downwards. So it might have to be a little bit shorter than this, some length that is manageable. As you can see, this hand is glossy and this hand is matte. I was just experimenting something and I decided to just buff this one and keep them mattified. Yeah, I just wanted to see and compare. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I do. Without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. I want to start off by introducing some of my essential bits that I use on a monthly basis. The first one is called the T-Rex. This one is only for gel-X removal. The second one is a more gentler removal bit. It's called the gel-X bit. And then this, the large barrel, and this one can smooth out your nail and you can use it as a buffer. And this cuticle bit is probably my favorite. It's such a beginner friendly cuticle bit to use, so I'll definitely show you guys how to use that. And then the last one is to smoothen out any dehydrated skin around the cuticle. I'm gonna give you guys a pro tip, and one of the ways you can clean these bits is by spinning them in the acetone and then wiping them dry. So let's get into the nail, and what I did was always apply extensions so my natural nails are protected, and they finally grown out to the length that I love. So it's time to finally remove them. There are several ways to growing out your natural nails, one of them being constantly getting extensions done and never getting a removal, so always doing a fill-in every 3 to 4 weeks so that you can keep your nails protected and covered so you don't even see your natural nails for a couple months, and then when it's time to remove them, then you have the perfect length. Or you start off directly with builder gel on your natural nails, whatever length they are. So if you guys are not interested in this gel-X removal part, then please go directly to the nail prep part of this video. So I'm starting off with the T-Rex bit at the max speed, 30 to 35,000 RPMs. I recommend, if you're a beginner, to use the gel-X bit because it's a little bit more gentle and easier to use, and you guys can go at whatever speed you're comfortable with. But I do recommend with these removal bits that you don't go too slow, or it can get stuck on like a bump, or yeah, it's just gonna be a little bit more tough to use at a slower speed. So my key trick in removing gel X is to remove 90% while keeping 10% of that product still on your natural nail. So once I'm able to see my natural nail underneath, I'm gonna stop drilling because I don't want to end up overfiling my natural nail. And this is how I still maintain strength on them, by leaving a little bit of product there. So this part, it's really important to note that it's really easy to overfile your natural nail if you're using the wrong nail file. I'm using a 100 grit nail file, and it's very gentle, and you don't risk overfiling the edges and also the free edge. So I'm just kind of making my nails into a shape that I like. I'm going for like a skinny almond, almost a stiletto, but I don't recommend doing a full stiletto with your natural nail because that can be quite fragile and easy to break. So after you've kind of filed your nails into the shape that you like, I'm going in with my 240 grit sanding band. You guys can also use a nail buffer if you guys are uncomfortable using a sanding band. But I think a sanding band is the key trick to getting the most smoothest surface. And what I'm doing is going around the cuticle where all my dead skin are stuck on the nail plate. I'm also just smoothing out after that removal part, because this is the part where you want to be a perfectionist and get all the liftings or all the bumps just off and making it a very smooth surface for the gel to be applied. Please be careful with the angle that you're using this and the speed. I'm going at a 5,000 RPM speed. Also, please be using this angle that is almost flat to the nail and not digging into your nail. I'm barely applying any pressure. I'm just guiding the e-file into the direction I want. So now I'm finally going in with my Erica's ATA cuticle bit, and we're gonna be going at this pattern of 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and I'm covering each base, moving my drill every 3 times that I go over that spot. I don't know if that makes sense. I use this method and counting to prevent damaging your nail plate or applying way too much pressure in one area that can cause your cuticle to be damaged or to bleed. So that's how I lift that pocket up of the cuticle, and you guys can see that little white flakes that are coming out. Those are kind of like the dried bits of my cuticle that are stuck on the nail plate that are coming off slowly. And this is really gonna help with your retention. Like I mentioned before, cuticle prep, nail prep is one of the most important parts of nail health. So I really encourage you guys to invest in good tools when it comes to nail prep and cuticle, because you want these tools to last you a very long time. I'm gonna be linking all the products, all these bits that I have from Erica's ATA in my description, so please go check out their website, and I promise you guys, you will not regret purchasing one of their bits, because every single bit that I've used have been such good quality and they last you a very, very long time. So now that the cuticles are lifted up, I'm going in with my very sharp cuticle nippers. Make sure that they're sharp, because if they're dull, they can end up hurting you and causing you to bleed. And I try to replace my nippers every couple of months. Once I realize that they're dull, I will replace them immediately. And I'm going from one corner to the other. And one advice I give to you guys, please make sure that you're being careful around the side walls. So around the point where I'm reaching now is where people over nip a lot because of the angle that it's hard to get to the corners. Getting all that dead skin off is very important for retention. If you guys want to prevent liftings, or if you've been experiencing liftings, then this is the point where you have to improve and practice a lot. So now I'm going in with this bit from Erica's ATA, and this is perfect for people who have dry skin around the cuticle. So once you've got that dry, crusty bits off, I'm brushing the dust off and sanitizing my nail so I can remove all the oil and dust and dirt. And we're gonna get into the gel application. So the first step is to dehydrate the nail completely. I'm going in with my dehydrator and making sure to apply that everywhere on my nail plate, and make sure to wait until the dehydrator dries completely. I zoomed in so you guys can see how crusty and dry they look, and this is how you want your nails to look before you apply the base gel. And I'm going in with the base gel, a very thin layer but still covering the whole nail plate. Please make sure not to get this on your skin. Once you get it on your cuticles, grab a brush and dip it into acetone very quickly and clean it up. After I've cured that for 60 seconds into the nail lamp, I'm going in with a very nudish color, a very skin tone color. You guys can either use a regular gel polish, or I'm using a builder gel here, and I'm just applying a very thin layer to even out that color that my natural nail has. So a lot of people have different skin tones when it comes to your natural nail. I just don't like how uneven and discolored my nail looks. So I just decided to go in with a basic nude color to even out the colors, but still be able to see my natural nail. So I've cured that layer fully in the lamp for 60 seconds. And now I'm going in with a builder gel that is translucent and transparent. And I'm going to apply a slip layer, which is a very thin layer, same layer as you did with the base. And then without curing that slip layer, I'm going in with a bigger blob of gel, applying that right around the cuticle area and pushing it as close to the cuticle as possible without touching my skin. And once I've dragged the gel throughout my whole nail, I'm using a liner brush to even out the builder gel around my nail. Once you've got it all even, and make sure to reach the side walls and all the sides and the corners, you want this gel to cover your whole nail to give it strength. And I won't lie, this takes a lot of practice, and it took me a long time to master this skill of builder gel. So no pressure, but just make sure that it's even. I'm gonna flip over my hand so that gravity can help me center that gel in the right area. If you guys have never heard of the apex, I'm going to show you guys a photo right here. This is how you want your nail shape to be, and this is going to determine the strength of your natural nail as well. So if you don't want your nail to crack easily, then please make sure you have a perfect apex shape. So we're going to be repeating this process on every single finger, making sure to get the builder gel even. Make sure that you're being a perfectionist when it comes to this. And if you guys want to check if it's even or not, I really recommend turning your hand to the side to see the shape so that apex is really nice. And make sure to cure each finger for at least 25 seconds before moving on to the next finger. And then at the end, make sure to cure the whole hand at least for 60 seconds to make sure everything is fully cured. So if you didn't do so well with the builder gel step and you see some imperfections or bumps or unevenness throughout the whole nail, then go in with a lint-free pad and wipe off the stickiness of the layer that is on the builder gel. And now it's time to file and refile and reshape and fix those flaws that you see in your nail. And I do this often just because the builder gel is not always guaranteed to give you the most even nail. So I like to go in with my nail file and buffer, make sure that the shape is just crisp and perfect. And I personally like it to be buffed and mattified, but you guys can also go in with a top coat if you guys want the glossy look. And I'm going in with cuticle oil to make sure that my cuticles are super moisturized. And this is the finished look for my natural nails. This has given my natural nails strength and protection so they can keep on growing.